let's get back on this. Okay, so you can't go that way. Follow the exit. It's like stupidly complicated. Get out the way, you fucker. I don't care, Chad, I'm going. Not stopping for a yellow light. Needs to make this fucking delivery 18 hours typical. Nothing should be 8 hours away from anywhere. It shows how big this fucking country is. 18 hours just to go from one state to another. Like fuck, you think things too big. And yet you're wrong by an angry white man. I don't get it. I thought this would be quite accurate until I started driving through places I've actually been in real life, and the actual map looks nothing fucking like it. How hard would it be to go onto Google and use the Google Street Map data to actually build a fucking level? You think you've got so much data in Google, and then like driving, like you could make that into the game, and then it would be like ultra realistic, and it would be like really fucking long, and you could have every state you can imagine with real actual Google Street data. I'm sure they tried that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. They used some sort of actual real photos. So when you're looking down at the ground, I think it's must be the latest one. It's actually an actual map of what it actually is like on the world. But it's only when you zoom in they start adding some like AI details. But actually when you zoom down that's probably like Google Earth image. You have to move out the fucking way, you car. I'm on a mission. Yeah, a few more deliveries. Actually, just because this one's changed, so I might just do this one. Didn't think it would be 18 hours. The game started off with like 28 hours, I'm only halfway through. How can it be so far? I don't get it. Move out of the way and shoot. Burn rubber. Your mama was a snowblower. Oops. What you were looking at? You didn't see nothing. Lucky little car. Get your mower running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. I shall name her the Red Devil. The Rouge Express. I like the Rouge Express. You can probably tell the Rouge Express. Me to the Rouge Express. Look at her, how beautiful she is. Better than Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime would love to shag the Rouge Goddess. Or whatever the hell she's called, I've forgotten already. Rouge Prime. Theme song. Theme song. We'll push past all of these fucking slow pokes. Get out of the way, bitch. You fucking beeping out. Fuck off. I'm bigger than you, I have the right of way. When I get out and run me the fuck off the road. No, I said it's called learning to be a better driver. That's not me to be nice. Be nice. of a dayz peak. I don't think it's making me a better driver. Need to be a polite driver. I think I drive more sensibly when I'm in the actual truck. Also quieter in here. You don't have the hum of the engine banging in your ears. "15 hours to go. 15 hours, man." You know, I don't want to if I was doing this. Have like a drink at the same time. But I haven't really touched alcohol for a while. I've got loads in the fridge. It's like I haven't got round to it. There's some flavoured gin that I bought 2 years ago. Got some cans that I got from work 2 Christmas ago. And Pernod. No, I haven't drank for a while. Just haven't felt like it. I used to drink really badly. It's a mob's game, really. I don't understand people that would drink and drive. I would have the odd drink, but I would never get behind the back of the wheel. It's just foolish. But I don't know. I know why I stopped drinking. Because I'm kind of person that, just because of my personality, when I drink, I either get really happy or I get really sad. There's no kind of in between. And that's why I gave it up, because I was just getting so sad all the time. What people have said or have been told, I've got like an addictive personality. Like not addicted for other people, addicted for me. Like I get addicted to different things easily. Which is okay when you're younger. But as you start to get on a bit, like I don't want to be addicted to things anymore. Cheyenne. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never should have had before, no. Get a good feeling, yeah. I was dealing with a call the other day, and I won't go into too much details, but whoever I was speaking to actually put to me their own M and B E at the end of the name. Like an MU when you're knighted, like by the king or the queen. You put the sword on your like shoulders and you get knighted like knight of the realm. But this guy, I'm definitely certain he hasn't been knighted. I think he's just put MBE at the end of his own name. And it got me thinking, because I have a doctorate, but I don't call myself doctor. And I also have a bachelor's degree, but I don't call myself a bachelor either. So why would you personally name yourself MBE? So pretentious. And he kept saying every time he gave me his name, he emphasized the MBE at the end. Like, yeah, I'm Joe Blogg's M and BE. And he's alright, mate, fucking give it a rest. I don't give a shit. It's like when you got somebody and it's down as Mr. So you say Mr. or Mrs. And then they're like, oh no, it's Doctor. Oh, fuck it out, okay. So you go into college, you got 8 grand in debt just so you can be called Doctor. And now you're striking because you don't get enough pay. Did you see that? The doctor was striked again. We got 22% pay rise when Labour came in early this year. And they're like, oh, that's enough, right, we won't strike anymore. And then fucking West Street was like, well, I sorted that now. Blame the Conservatives for not helping. Shit, sorry, yeah. But now they're just as bad. The doctors are asking for more percent. They want 20 more percent. So I'll put them like the train drivers when they got 40% increase. Like who else gets a 40% increase in pay? I got 2.5%. And the union, what I know, that's the best we can do for you. 2.5%. So people balloted and then they accepted it. But then you've got doctors and train drivers who are eventually going to get 40 fucking percent. The company's bankrupt already, it's on its arse. We need to increase our defence spending by another 30% because Trump said, oh, I'm pulling out of the UN. Do your own defence. Like America saw damn the Star-Spangled Great. They've lost the last 2 fucking wars they were in. They pulled out disgracefully from Vietnam. The last time they won a war was World War II, and that's because we were there as well. They didn't come into World War II until one of their ships got bombed. But it had been going on for 3 years already. But then because one of their ships got bombed, they were like, alright, we're gonna get in this fight. Alright, well, yeah, that's fucking 3 years. Anyway, this isn't a political stream. I just think it's bullshit that the doctors are striking again. They've already put my tests off twice. I was meant to go in for a colonoscopy, so stick the camera up your ass and take a biopsy. That got postponed due to COVID. And I got another appointment for it last year, and it was when the doctor struck, so I didn't get that appointment either. And now apparently I'm back on the list again. Well, thank you very much. How are you doing? You know, someone pops in, you think, oh look, great, it's lovely. Somebody watching. And it turns out to be just a bot posting a big long list of string. Or it's somebody saying, oh, will I buy some art? Well, no thank you, I do my own fucking art. I'm a graphic designer by trade. Well, actually, no, I'm an IT technician by trade. Customer service by design. Graphic designer by necessity. Like even if they're not a bot. That isn't the way to drum up business. Wait until somebody asks you if they want you to design something. Rather than just coming into every stream, oh, do you want me to do some art, do you want me to do some overlays? Your stream shows potential, let's get you to sell you some shit. There'll be a bot that's just an automatic bot funnel. I don't think people realise how difficult it is to be a screamer. You know, I'm very introverted by nature, but I am sitting talking to all you guys and having a bit of banter while I'm playing a game. Anxiety's through the roof. Actually not, I'm just enjoying the game. The fact that you're also watching the one I really do appreciate it. Is the bots piss me off. I had someone come on earlier. Talk for a good 10 minutes. And then like, oh, add me on Discord. Oh, by the way, do you want to buy some art? Like, well, no, I've just actually done all my art, thank you. I think your stream's good, but you need some of my art. Alright, do I? Alright, God's gift to art. Look at my little pink dick. Okay, even if you were looking for art, you would want to ask somebody rather than them just to automatically assume you want something. Like when you go into a supermarket and if somebody comes up to you, have you ever noticed, like they see you just cruising and they come to you, oh, can I help you with anything? You instantly now don't want to buy anything. Whereas if they just left you be, you'd buy all sorts. But because somebody's actively come up to you, it puts you off. That's what they don't realise. When I used to do sales training for companies, so I'd go into the companies and we'd see how they did their training, what kind of their sales technique were, and then we would develop like a solution for them. And the amount of hard selling that people do that have knowledge. And the statistics actually say for every one hard sale you do, you'll actually lose 5 organic sales. Because just people don't want the hard sell. Like when I was doing charity for door to door, and there was this Albanian gentleman, I won't name him, because he would love that. Stood on somebody's doorway who said no 4 times. Stood there, lit up a cigarette, had his fag for a little bit, and drank a can of pop. And so the poor lady called the puppers. They came out and the whole team had to move on. We weren't allowed back into that area. And the company actually lost its license to actually promote for British Red Cross because of the sales tactics of these guys, which turned out to be a pyramid scheme anyway. Let's say as an example, I got somebody to sign up and they did £10 a month. And I got £50 for that sale. Manager above me got 25% for the sale, even though he hadn't actually sold anything. But he got half what I'd got. And the manager above him got 10%, had £10 off. So you got 50, next one above you got 25 for nothing, and the one above you got £10 for nothing. Then they wanted you to build a team, so they'd get you to invite 5 people to come in. Each one of those 5 people, you'd train them. They would then get sales, so you would get then £25 of their sales. And then the one above you. And that's what we mean by pyramid scheme. So the guy at the top's getting all of the money for nothing. The one below him gets a bit more, and then you get your 50 quid. And the charity gets 10% of what you made, what you made. So say I throw in £100, only £10 of it went to the charity. The rest of it went to like admin costs, paying external agencies. And then they wonder why the charity model's broken. But anyway, yeah, so when I was doing sales training, we'd kind of go in, we'd just go in as a mystery shopper. And then we'd see how we got sold. And then we'd go back a couple of days later, then we'd do the company's training. We'd then send somebody back in to do a mystery shopper and see what changed. And the amount of times you'd give all of this training, and as soon as you were on the way, they'd then go back to the original aggressive sales tactics, where you're having to get somebody to say no 3 times before they walk away, and that does not sit with me very well. If somebody says no once, and it's a genuine no, which you can tell. If somebody's humoring that, I'm not sure, no, I don't think so. If they say it, give them the only option like, no, then that's it, walk away. But then to go back at them again and try and turn 3 negatives, that's what they teach you. You've got to turn 3 negatives to get to a positive. That you think is wrong. I'm all about the customer service. I want the customer to get the right outcomes. But I will not beat them down with over and over again. As soon as they've said no once, that's it, I'm moving on. Because I've been on the other side of that. But I don't believe in it. Like when they try and make you upsell, so they say they've already got something with you. And then they say, right, well, mention this, get them to buy this as well, There's an add-on. I think that's wrong as well, because if they wanted it, they'd have taken it out. And then then saying, oh, but you're always right. No. Definitely not. We don't know what those people are going through. We don't know if they can afford what we're trying to buy. And you put them in I make all that determination, so I will then think, right, can we afford this? And saying they can't, but they really can be. There was a very case in point. I was dealing with one guy, know this at the time, but he had dementia. And so what he would do, he would ring up every couple of months. And he would try to buy something because he'd forgot he had it. And it turned out that some 3 people in my organisation had sold this guy a product. And I believe, personally, knowingly, because when you type in their name or their date of birth or whatever, identifying information, it pulls up the two policies. Now, me, due diligence, I would say if I can see 2 policies, and I can see it's both for the same thing, you would question, what do you really need this again, sir? Or madam? But anyway, I didn't sell it to them, but what I did is I contacted their next of kin and wanted to be on the file as a contact. So I'll just ring on that son on that door and look, he said, look, we've got you dead on the phone again. Wanted to account X, Y, and Z. even though he's already got them. Well, no, thanks for letting us know. It turned out he'd actually been doing that to other companies as well. This pillar trap. Buying the policies for the same thing and paying each of them monthly, so you can imagine how much this pillar trap's paying out. And nobody before me had actually questioned, do you need these things? They were just happy to sell them to get the stats up. And Anne was the only one who'd taken time to actually ring his son or daughter and ask. In the end, I spoke to the managers, like, I'm putting a note on here not to sell him any more things. Because it's the right thing to do. So I go into it and I treat everyone like, okay, so this was my granddad. How would I want them to be treated? And I would hope that people treat them with respect, dignity, but don't just sell them something because they're asking for it. Especially if they're not the right way with it, or to know they've already got it. Because how many people in London Compass lend us? Whether through actual illness or just age. But I've always tried to live with that moral. Is it having morals? Like, why wouldn't you? Why would you knowingly want to put somebody in debt by selling them something that they can't afford? Or not even they can't afford, maybe they could afford it, but that you don't need. And why aren't more people that to consider it? You know. It's not even about doing what's right for the customer. It's like doing what you fucking believe as a human being. Where was I? Anyway, yeah, so when we used to go into companies, we'd do like a secret shopper. So I'd go in, or one of my team would go in and see if somebody actually had sold them a product they didn't need, or if they were actually good salespeople, and like question whether you actually needed it. And say 5 out of 10 sell you a thing you don't genuinely need. So half. We were doing it specifically for, I'll name drop, it was for Tesco. And we went into 10 Tesco's in one day. And 5 out of the Tesco's failed. At that basic, selling something that people don't need. And I'm not talking about like food items, as you'd imagine from Tesco. This was actually so someone would go in for, I don't know, a SIM card or a phone. And then they get sold all of the accessories that go with it that you don't actually need. One guy in his 80s went in for a pay-as-you-go phone and ended up coming out without the time the first iPhone on a contract power brick, because back then they didn't come with power bricks. Yes. And a monthly contract. And then when I had to go into the guy and give the feedback, and then they realised what we'd been doing, you should have seen his face. He knew he'd done wrong. And yet I'd secretly seen that his manager, when the manager didn't know who I was, giving him praise for doing that sale. Like, well done, you only came in for a penny to go for, and you sold him 180 quid's worth of stuff. And then the manager then have to discipline that same person that he patted on the back. Like a hypocrite. But I pointed that out to the winner that from his manager above him. Kind of the store manager passed it along. He was like, what he was 10 minutes ago. He was actually praising that guy for doing the thing he's now penalising him for. Needless to say, the manager doesn't work there anymore. Or didn't. They probably hired him back now. But it wasn't even because the guy knew he'd done wrong. The salesman, but it wasn't that knowingly did he not wrong. It's because that's the training that they were given. Like, you have these targets, you will sell 5 phones a week. You will bundle this iPhone with that brick. And for everyone you don't, this will happen. And that's not how you do sales. You have to develop a need. So do they need this? Yes, they do. Okay, give them the options. Do you want pay-as-you-go with this phone, or do you want this phone on monthlies? This is the price difference. And people don't like being asked, is that okay, sure you can afford it? Well, that's what you should be asking. Okay, that's going to be £300 by the end of the year. Is that something you think you can afford? Yes, I can. No, I can't. If they say no, they can't, you shouldn't be thinking, well then, should I sell it to them? I mean, don't go too in depth, like, is that only something you can only temporarily not afford it? Can you afford it by the end of the year? When I used to work for an energy company, it was really bad. Because I worked on the pay-as-you-go meters. So you get people ringing up. Like, oh, it's Christmas time or it's the weekend. I can't afford to put any money on my key. Oh, and why is that? Well, this and this reason. And then like, alright. And do you have, and like, they would be really personal about it. And do you have anything you could non-buy so that you can afford to put your electric and gas on? Now, okay, it's a fair enough question, but that's not my job to ask. I'm not here to police how people live their life. Like when you see on TV, these people on benefits, these ministers saying, and again, sorry, this is politics, and I say it wasn't a politics stream, but yeah, when you see them, the people on benefits are lazy. They should give up they should give up internet. They should give up broadband. They should give up all of the TV channels. Don't smoke any cigarettes. Don't buy any alcohol. But that might be the only escapism that person has. who are we to say, right, spend your money on this instead? We're going to trust people to be adults. At 9 out of 10, the people who are ringing up know that they shouldn't be doing these things, so rather than buy a pack of 20 tops, put some food on the table for your kids. But we've incentivized people by making ready meals for cheap and like just so like no nutritional value that it's become harder. Like sometimes it's cheaper if you've got a little bit of money to go to like a takeaway. To feed your kids rather than actually cooking a meal. Because say as an example, I know burger, drink and fries as an example is say $5 is a tenner. But that same tenner why you can buy yourself a bag of potatoes. You can't even get yourself a bit of meat because meat's so expensive. Like the people, like when you were on, wasn't Jeremy Carlin, when you were on 5 Lives the other morning, and somebody was saying, yeah, but you can live or you can buy a bag of salad for £2. You can buy a bag of oranges for £2. And then the guy genuinely there was like, well, that's not a meal, that's 2 things. That if you've exhausted your budget. So what you're gonna do, like put an orange on a plate with a side of veg and call that a meal. People don't drink and eat shit food because they like it. It's because they get on and all they can afford. If it was cheaper to eat healthy, people would eat healthy. So like the guy on the TV said, we're not denying you can buy a bag of carrots. But you can't then turn back to those carrots into a fucking meal. Unless you want to be eating fucking raw carrot. And even not, even though it wasn't 2 years ago, a full watermelon, 99p, now £2.50. That's 3 times the price for the same size watermelon. And three of it, where so was in little, so, and 3 little of eating eggs, like just basic eggs, small eggs, used to be £1.20. I think they're about £2 now. And the farmers can't make it any cheaper. The farmers are losing money hand over fist as it is. They've lost all of their incentives. Now they're gonna get inheritance taxed. If you take over a farm when somebody dies, you're gonna pay inheritance tax. Like how many farms are gonna go under? There's already not enough young people going back into farming. whatsoever. If your dad was a farmer, you would then go on to be a farmer. But they've seen that the kids nowadays have seen their dads struggling so much on as a farmer. They don't want to be a farmer. They see that there's no money in being a farmer. And most farms are having to diversify, so now they'll make a better way. They'll put some huts on the land and turn it into a B&B because they're not making enough money as a farmer. So farmers are aging out and they're not being replaced by the next generation. So then eventually farms will be bought by conglomerates. But you won't have your local farm anymore, it'll be like factory farming. I went to a farm a little while ago because I was thinking of getting some chickens for the garden. And somebody had said you can get them for like 50p because they're the ones that produce no eggs. They don't produce enough eggs anymore. So rather than kill them, the farmers are giving them away for like 50p. The mature birds that maybe went from laying an egg a day, now that maybe they lay one once a month because they're exhausted full of bloody things. And the stink was awful. Like not natural stink, because I mean I grew up in countryside. And they were all crammed, the old hens were all crammed in so tight. That like some of them had diseases, some of them had illnesses, some of them were actually rotten from the inside. Some had died and then the living ones were eating them. Even though they shouldn't be meat eaters. But they're like basically garbage cans, they'll eat anything. And the difference was astonishing. So you've got the ones that like live all the time outside. They've got like little huts that they can go in and out of. Or the ones that just stood like laid down in a barn. That's been rack of rack of rack. Racks and racks of them, one on top of the others. So the ones on top are shitting on the ones underneath. And they never leave the little box. So they spend all of their life in this little box shitting and dropping eggs. The eggs go out the back, shit goes underneath to the one below them. And when they die, they get thrown in a fucking bin bag. When I was little, a friend of mine had an allotment. I had loads of chickens in there. And he gave me 5 of them. And I would go in there every day and I would feed them, water them. And when one died, I got so upset that we buried it. People were like, you need to toughen up. There were only animals who died. But they were mine. Okay, I probably treat them like pets, but I shouldn't have done. Don't get attached to them. But my favourite was when I called Mabel. And she was like a really good escape artist. So you'd come down and she'd be the only one out of the actual pen. And she'd be wandering around in other people's allotments. It was basically the magician of everyone. I was trying to think of the magician's name. What he came up like. Then Yuri Geller popped in, but he was more a mentalist. She couldn't bend spoons, bless her. Anyway, she was an escape artist, like Houdini, that's who I was trying to think of. Houdini. So basically, Mabel was the escape artist. But one day, a fox got her. That was so sad. My favourite chicken had gone.